Oh yes, and in final notice, with the current trend of cockfighting and bull baiting being in full vogue, reports of rowdyism have prevailed over this weekend past and will not be tolerated in the next. By order of the Right Honourable Mayor, pray do not shoot the messenger. Hear ye, hear ye. I declare this notice hereby formally posted. God save the Queen. Now, just to attach this notice to the tavern door for all to see, and there we go, all done. A lot of notices today. I'm parched, might have to sample the tavern myself. A town crier's job can never be underestimated. Parish notices, news, bylaws, even the odd bit of gossip. Nothing goes on in the parish without me knowing about it, and a lot of people rely on me to keep up to date with the day-to-day business of the area. Oh yes, it's a position of great responsibility, and only the most respected citizens are trusted with the role. And a big mouth doesn't hurt either. Tommy Sanderson's the name. I was born not far from here, near Hines Bridge, Bishopwearmouth village. We had nowt growing up. Army meant me father was absent. We lived off parish money mostly, and a bit of weshing. Everybody did the bit. I collected coals that fell from the keels on the way to the quay and sold them. Oh aye, I had a head for business even then. I was always destined for great things. Lots of people collect things, stamps, animals, hats. For me, well, it seemed to be jobs. This started well. Even though I was brought up in destitution, I got myself an education at the National School in Low Row and started out as a shipwright. And I was good at it. Spent a bit of time at sea with the brig Albion, sailed from Seaham Harbour to Hamburg, on to Hull, but I soon had a hankering for home. I married my Elizabeth, daughter of A.W. Lee, a gentleman farmer and cousin to the Leang shipbuilding family, no less. I couldn't believe me luck. I was on me way. £5 a week on average over 7 years. A few times I even made £8 a day. But life doesn't always pan out how you plan. We were living in Hartlepool when I lost my Elizabeth. I came back to Sunderland, took over a little grocer's shop in Coronation Street, where I don't think my heart was in it, and it failed. Then there was the pub, failed. Well, I didn't realise till afterwards the only way to spin a profit was by watering the beer down. Then there was the umbrella shop in Bordelwell Lane, but that ended up being more trouble than it was worth when the local no-gooders took a dislike to it. But at that time, Sunderland was in a wretched condition. Shipwrights working for not more than 15 bob a week, and shops did little trade, for the wealthy were few, the excessively poor many, and the middle-class people didn't exist. There was no gas or flagging, no policeman. I once saw a man pilloried at the foot of Church Street and pelted with eggs. We served our own justice in those times. And me, well, suddenly I could do nothing right. I was out of luck and short of tin, elbows bare and breeches thin, hairy heed without a hat, pecker down and spirits flat. I ended up living in Metal Hall, an iron hut on Wales on Borough Road. I sold bits and bobs till I was ejected by the corporation for infringing bylaws and being unable to pay the penalty. Just when I thought it could get no worse, I did a stint in the jail. It was a fateful day. 'Twas the 16th day of August. Or dool upon that day. A host of land sharks they came in, and havoc they did play. Pillaged, sacked and pilfered. My house they did lay waste. Filibusters and wreckers, they for booty had a taste. I wrote that in a collection of prose and poetic works called Chips and Shavings of an Old Shipwright, or the life, poems and adventures of Thomas Sanderson. Even had it published a few years back in 73. You see, I'd always been fond of writings and poetry. With a life like mine, there's a lot to write about. I do enjoy a good story, even if I am inclined to embellish the truth upon occasion. And my own story? Well, it's taken another turn. Hear ye, hear ye! Would you believe it? Helped back up onto me feet by some charitably disposed gentlemen after some mild begging through the prose and poems, and appointed town crier by the very corporation that locked me up only a few years earlier. And now I walk these, my streets, with authority, yielding bell and billowing voice, bedecked in finery, gold-braided cocked hat and gilt-buttoned, gold-laced coat, a source of wonderment among the juveniles, and, I must admit, a source of continual amusement among the adult population. But mention the name Tommy Sanderson in this parish, and not a soul would fail to point you in my direction. A legend in my own lifetime, with Bishopwearmouth running through me veins. Remember the name. Now, If you'll excuse me, I must maintain the instrument of my employ with some much needed sustenance. Barkeep, could I be of trouble and request your charity for a drop of your finest ale?